Today's the 35th anniversary of the Lockerbie disaster, and our Home and Security editor, Mark White, joins us now. Before we see your film, Mark, we go back to 1988, and we're not going to see your film, actually. It turns out we've been seeing your film all morning. People like Ellie weren't even born then. And, I mean, I can remember, to hear about an aviation disaster, but then a bomb being placed on board this. And we're still, my friend, that there may have been collusion, or there may have been the American security services may well have known about this, and yet people were still allowed to fly.
Yeah, it's incredible to think. I was just thinking exactly the same before you spoke to me just now. It's not just Ellie. The vast majority of people in our newsroom were not born when this bombing happened. Long before 9/11, this aircraft blown out of the sky at 31,000 feet, with all these people heading home for Christmas. And when the news came through that a jet had crashed on a small town in the Scottish borders, back then you didn't have live 24-hour rolling news. You relied on news flashes. But the full enormity, when that came through to everyone, but by later that evening, when it was revealed it was a passenger airliner, and as you say, in the subsequent days, that a bomb had taken it out, it was just incredible. People were numb, and the tentacles of who might have been responsible just spread.
And I think not only of family, people who had family on board, but people who lived in these houses that we're looking at, people who lived in that town of Lockerbie, who did not know what hell was about to be unleashed on them, because the wreckage area was massive, absolutely massive for this.
Well, that's Sherwood Crescent there. The picture before you were talking about, in fact, we're back at it now, is Rosebank Crescent, where part of the main passenger fuselage came down, passengers still strapped in to their seats, bodies that were all over the roofs and the roads around there. Sherwood Crescent got the bulk of the explosion because it was where the wings that were full of fuel had crashed into the ground there, creating this massive crater and destroying several houses. That's where 11 Lockerbie residents were killed as well. And you're right about the wreckage being strewn over a massive area. There was the immediate heavy wreckage that came down in and around Lockerbie, including the cockpit there in that field a couple of miles outside the town. But then you had lighter pieces of the wreckage and passenger belongings that found their way away to the opposite side of the country, to North Northumbria. And one story that we recounted in the report there of a young chap, same age as me when he died, a student, Nick Verenius, whose photograph, he'd taken this self-portrait on the summit of a mountain just days before his death. It, very symbolic just looking at it above the cloud base. But his photographs in his rucksack were scattered to the winds in that explosion, fluttered down, landed in North Northumbria, and then the family were eventually reunited with that when they went to examine all of the belongings. And of course, they saw this photograph undamaged, and it's incredible.
Mark, those are memories that you take away. 35 years on, you would have been a very young man in your 20s, in your
20,
you'd be 20 years of age.
Same age as this young lad that died.
What do you feel 35 years on?
Just incredible sorrow, really, for those kids, many of them, that just had their lives snatched away, that could have achieved who knows what. Many young, talented people like Nick and like Helga Mosey as well, a talented musician, who never got the opportunity
Mark,
to live their lives.
Your report of that day is on our website. You can go and look that up. There are lots and lots of amazing documentaries online, on streaming services, whatever, about this. If you don't know about it, I suggest you swat up on it. Thank you very much. Thank you.